Welcome to Monthly Million, the channel where we reveal the real success stories, the journeys that start from nothing and rise to millions. Here, we don't just talk about fame, we uncover the struggle behind it. Today's story is not about overnight luck or easy success. It's about survival, faith, and relentless belief. Joanne Rowling was born on July 31, 1965, in Yate, Gloucestershire, England, far from fame, fortune, or fantasy worlds. Her life did not begin with magic, it began quietly, ordinarily, and with a love for stories. From an early age, Joanne showed a deep fascination with imagination. She wrote her first story at the age of 6, about a rabbit suffering from measles, and read it aloud to her family. That moment revealed something powerful. Storytelling was not a hobby for her, it was instinct. Her childhood was not easy. Rowling later described herself as unhappy during much of her youth. She struggled socially, felt misunderstood, and often escaped into books. Stories became her refuge, her safe place, her way of understanding the world. Her mother, and Rowling, encouraged her creativity, while her father was more skeptical about writing as a serious career. This tension planted an early seed in Rowling's mind, the idea that believing in your own imagination often requires standing alone. As a teenager, Rowling attended Dean School and college, where she continued writing but faced personal challenges. She watched her mother battle multiple sclerosis, a slow and devastating illness that deeply affected her emotionally. The fear of loss and the reality of suffering shaped Rowling's inner world, themes of death, resilience, and love that would later become central to Harry Potter. After high school, Rowling studied French and classics at the University of Exeter. Though she didn't consider herself an exceptional student, she absorbed mythology, ancient literature, and storytelling traditions. After graduating, she worked various jobs, from researcher to secretary, none of which felt meaningful. She knew she wanted to write, but like many aspiring writers, she had no clear path. In 1990, while traveling on a delayed train from Manchester to London, Rowling experienced a moment that would change literary history. As the train crawled along the tracks, an image appeared fully formed in her mind, a young boy with glasses who didn't know he was a wizard. By the time she reached London, the foundation of Harry Potter existed in her imagination. She didn't have a pen that day, so she memorized the idea, unaware that this moment would one day transform her life, and the lives of millions. Tragedy struck shortly afterward. Rowling's mother passed away in 1990 after a long battle with multiple sclerosis. The loss devastated her. Grief reshaped her emotional landscape and found its way into her writing. The orphaned Harry Potter, the absence of parents, and the pain of loss all drew deeply from Rowling's real experiences. Seeking a fresh start, Rowling moved to Portugal to teach English. There, she continued writing in her spare time and met a journalist whom she married. The marriage was short-lived and difficult. In 1993, Rowling returned to the UK as a single mother with an infant daughter, Jessica, and almost no money. This period marked the lowest point of her life. Rowling lived on welfare, struggling to afford basic necessities. She suffered from clinical depression, describing herself as poor as it is possible to be in modern Britain, without being homeless. Writing was not just a dream anymore, it became survival. She wrote in cafés while her daughter slept beside her in a stroller, unable to afford heating at home. During this time, Rowling finished the manuscript for Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. With no industry connections and no confidence that anyone would care, she submitted the manuscript to publishers. Rejection after rejection followed. 12 publishing houses turned her down. Some said the book was too long. Others said children wouldn't read fantasy anymore. Some suggested she get a day job. For most people, this would have been the end. But Rowling had already survived worse. She continued submitting, refusing to abandon the story that had carried her through her darkest days. In 1996, a small publishing house called Bloomsbury finally accepted the manuscript, largely because the publisher's young daughter loved the first chapter. Rowling was advised not to expect much money and was even told to keep her day job. The first print run was just 500 copies. What happened next defied logic. Harry Potter captured readers immediately. Children who had never enjoyed reading became obsessed. Parents read alongside their kids. Teachers noticed something rare, a book that crossed generations. As word spread, sales exploded. The book crossed borders, languages, and cultures. When the series reached the United States, American publishers recognized its massive potential. Scholastic acquired the rights, and Harry Potter became a cultural phenomenon. Midnight book releases, sold-out bookstores, and global anticipation turned Rowling into a household name. Each new installment shattered sales records. Rowling went from welfare to millionaire, and eventually billionaire, in less than a decade. But money was never the heart of the story. What made Rowling extraordinary was her refusal to forget where she came from. As the franchise expanded into films, theme parks, and merchandise, Rowling remained deeply involved in the creative process. The Harry Potter movies became one of the most successful film franchises in history, introducing the wizarding world to an even wider audience. Universal Studios built immersive theme parks, further cementing the series as a cultural empire. Despite unimaginable success, Rowling faced criticism, controversy, and public scrutiny. Fame brought pressure, expectations, and mistakes. Yet her story remained unchanged at its core. She was a writer who survived despair through imagination. Rowling used her wealth to support charities, education initiatives, and causes related to poverty and multiple sclerosis. She donated so much money that she temporarily dropped off billionaire lists, a distinction that spoke volumes about her priorities. J.K. Rowling's journey resonates deeply with American audiences because it reflects a universal truth: talent alone is not enough. Persistence matters. Belief matters. Surviving failure matters. She didn't rise because the world believed in her. She rose because she believed in her story when no one else did. From a struggling single mother on welfare to the creator of one of the greatest franchises in history, J.K. Rowling didn't just write a story, she lived one. And in doing so, she reminded the world that sometimes, magic is real, not because of spells, but because of resilience. And this is exactly why we tell these stories on Monthly Million, to reveal how ordinary people rise to extraordinary success. If a homeless waiter can become a Hollywood legend, your breakthrough may be closer than you think. Subscribe to Monthly Million for more real success stories, from zero to millions.